then on the glass. Second block for him. Tarris Reed
as consistent, but has shot it well the last couple of games.
Reed again. Up and in again.
He's got a lot of bounce and wiggle in his game as well. Baseline, Reed, turns, pumps, jumps hook off the glass. Willis.
So far from Utah?
2,381 miles for those counting at home.
Walked every one of them. Once again, nice post up.
Count it! And a foul!
What?
Way, but they're still alive. Oh, wow.
There's a steal. Reed. Rumbling to the rim.
Control the defense. 3-on-2 here.
Here comes Demery. Boy, dropping a dime. Reed coming heavy.
Cooper taken away by Reed. He's running the floor. Reed on the rocket.
Activity by Mullins.
3.5 gone by in this first half.
Nice play. And look at the guy. He got some nice stuff.
Oh, the steal. Big man going down the floor.
Whenever that deuce go his way.
Smith shifting gears, using the screen. Reed the roll. Nobody home. UConn, 10 assists, 10 field goals, and Reed 10 to shoot.
See if they come with some help at some point.
Reed with Cooper. Reed spins and scores.
Games, he's 4-12 from behind the arc. Good start for him.
Reed again. Demery gets down the lane.
Also critical, there's Reed one more time where he can devastate.
Cut that frees up Zuby. He can make that from 15 feet.
Reed, Tarris Reed. Touches, shot clock's at 8. They do get it to Reed. This time, Mitchell, one of the best defenders in the conference. An entry, and Tarris Reed.
Caravan, feed it. Reed on an island with Gungbust. Reed, the fancy footwork, and he gets. Looks to the inside. A lot of bulk in the middle. Reed shows it, fakes it, and scores it. They just need offense, and it doesn't come from there. Reed, the offensive board. Powers in, and finishes. Caravan, give it up. Reed ducks inside. Caravan, he fakes out Polar, drives, bounces. What a setup.
Again, this is a tough match.
Reed, great.
There he is. There he is. Now go strong.
He will. Reed gets it to go.
That can score, and the other thing is Booker and Daly have been really quiet, and they were terrific the other day.
Mullins feeds Reed. There's the touch by the big man. Dayton has stepped up in each of the last 2 games. Reed flying to the basket.
And they got this guy who's been really good, Tarris Reed. Tough matchup. Right around.
Ball fires it inside. 2 more for
Not even guarding Reed out there.
Reed inside now. And Reed, how about it? A rebound. Reed. Those are just lost the offense.
I would try to get Tarris Reed involved. That's what I would do.
There comes the double. Reed out.
That's the right thing to do.
There's the double again. Reed trying to sneak by, and a steal by Mullins. Up ahead, Reed. House is back. Reed throws it down.
Balance. Reed working. Inside Reed. Nice catch. Point blank. Reed trying to get a foot in the lane. Does on Ejiofor. Across the body. Now Reed again. Reverse layup.
Not allowing that to happen.
Caravan. Reed with an offensive rebound. Smith weaving. Finds a big fella. Oh, Lee. Inside. Big man dials it up.
Can't leave him. Does. How about that?
And another shot clock. Reed. Nice dribble. 4 rebounds already. And they're keeping the big fella's hands full. Look at him just bully his way. Dusty May. He said he didn't recruit.
He didn't call, huh?
Because here at Madison Square Garden. The winner of this tournament receives the automatic.
Go quick or go slow.
Watch out.
To stop people with regularity.
But it's coming.
Nice entry there.
Get out and break next speed, but you can't give them extra chances. Reed over there telling you how many deflections they have.
slip by Reed, a good one, and the ball fake to go with it. There's the dump down to Reed. He's already got
Basketball today.
Reed, no help coming.
Airband, ready to go nuts when he scores. Had his number put up. Seat of honor down front. Adams almost got depleted. Reed, he's going hard to the basket. Hook shot work.
Huskies all around the rim. St. John's a very good offensive rebounding team.
Tarris Reed, the big man. Ball. Off to Tarris Reed. Mullins into Reed. Tarris Reed. The epitome of what I want in a player. Tarris Reed has been the beast tonight.
Forcing turnovers, and they're getting to the free throw line because of his dribble drive.
Tarris Reed, their leading scorer in Big East play at nearly 17 per. Tough catch. Reed underneath takes a
Winning can mask some things. You know, you're getting some slippage here and there, and so sometimes you get a loss, and it forces you to lock it.
in half by the Huskies. Demery, a little bit of contact. Reed, look at that 12. Apiro.
Advantage right now for Creighton. How are they going to stop Reed inside?
Reed off the print.
Reed, but then maybe double teaming with a big.
Look at that setup. Demery.
Point line.
First field goal for Creighton in more than 3 minutes. Reed banging bodies up. Patched
To UConn right now. Big time shot.
15 for Graves. Reed. Boy, he's been a hand. 11 on the timer. Reed into the paint. Up top. Part of the first half. Can they extend on a 6-point lead? Reed, beautiful drop step. Yeah. Everyone pitching in against the number 2 team in the country. On the box, this is Reed working on Traore underneath, and he's headed to the line.
Hard on that. Go to practice, shoot around. For 4 games, you see him just really working his tail off almost to paint.
Here's the thing, Donnie. UConn is 5th in defensive efficiency. It's that in the world where the net and metrics matter and you're fighting for a 1 seed. You want style points. Tarris Reed, other 2 teams in that top 50, they meet tomorrow night on Peacock. 6:30. Reed.
Yeah.
He scored or assisted on 7 of the last 9.
5 turnovers.
Caravan. Reed the
UConn trying to be as patient as they can as they feed Reed underneath.
But their ranking as 312, not strong from deep, although they did shoot it well at Creighton.
It just tells you how deep UConn's team is.
Reed, there's an example of what we were
At the Prudential Center here in Newark. Good movement underneath, and this is on a 3. Mullins tracks it down. The 8th offensive rebound of the half. Nice for the Huskies. Look at that move.
21, 22-year-old kids. Look at this action down low.
Tarris Reed on the box. What up? Tarris Reed Jr. looking for a seam. This is Reed. What a matchup against Payne. Setting him up into the paint. Payne, the flick, and he gets it. Air at the right. Caravan. Underneath, it's Reed. A series of fakes. Lazy games against DePaul. Comes in at 10-6. Back-to-back wins in conference play. They got their hands full.
You think about how good these players are. Andre Drummond, Liam McNeely.
Short into Reed. Tarris Reed's team,
But he's got to take the right one.
They brought a double for Reed. The big bear. Caravan! Off! Reed cleans it up! Smith. Crossover. Malachi Smith dishes it off! Smith. Short. Reed. Tarris Reed. Wins of the season. Win over Florida beat. One of them is Reed. The Grinch arrived late to the Cintas Center. Entry again. Reed.
Benson, so it's a nice 1-2 combo at that 5 spot. Look at him.
Reed passed up on the alley-oop drive. Athletic ability you saw right there.
Sagging off of Reed. He's going down in the low post again. This time Reed is back in. Remember, he had the first 4 shots of the game for UConn. He comes back in.
There, probably didn't want to get hit again. Taking a charge.
Demery where he thought maybe he had the lob for Reed. Now Reed repositions. He's got great position underneath. Easy dunk.
You have no idea. Like I'm like a little kid. Just I should be excited. I'm going in to talk about basketball.
As well. That's key here in this first half for the two starting bigs. Reed's going to back him down. Turn, face, dig, and score. Seance at some point after the game.
Reed loading up. Strong.
On the turn. And
for the Huskies. An immediate touch for Reed. And he scored. Reed back to ball. Reed got it. Mullins still out there as well. Here he is. Good pass. Reed.
There's the post, the attempt.
There you go. Reed powers it up in it. When he was at St. Sebastian's as a freshman, but a little bit of a different atmosphere tonight.
Nice pass.
Reed up with a run.
Picked up by Dar. Kick it. Extra caravan set. There you go. Reed. The back end. Reed, swing it. Demery fires. Bottom.
Mullins feeding Reed. Matched up with Booker again. Here's the double. Daly was coming over. Caravan left open. Another
defensive perspective as a point guard. He's the tip of the spear. Backdoor. Backdoor. Nice slip. Backside. Jumper. Ross. Inside, Reed. And Caravan.
Range too, Mullins. Really dragged the D. They got him on a nice cut by Caravan. Got to pay for his own shoes. That's the way things were. Nice slip again. Caravan so good.
17-14. A haul down low. Somebody.
Good switch there by Keith on that flare screen. Took it away on Mullins.
Reed on the box. Kicks it. Smith. Opposite three. Gonna back away, reset, ball, thought about it. Reed, touch pass, it's
He's an assistant for his father. I mean, he's done it everywhere he's gone. You think about Donovan Dent, guys he's had another.
Quite been the same offensively since Maui.
There's another look.
Mullins backdoor.
Because that is a heartbreaker from a defensive standpoint.
Here's Tarris Reed underneath, boy, dropping it.
Connecticut seeking a 10th consecutive win. Reed backdoor.
Screen too. They're always looking to help their partner. Caravan so good. Nice slip.
It's Caravan from things. Oh, that's a great out of bounds play too. Another one. Reed has to kick it out. Caravan for three, and
he's understanding positioning on the court. Like right there. Beautiful against the zone.
Nice handoff, Mullins, and the floater goes down.
8% from three.
Backdoor Mullins. Cut off. Reed. The kick. Mullins fires. Got it.
Halfway down the cylinder and out, but Reed with a nice find on a beautiful pass.
Night. St. John's coming off a dominant win over Creighton, who upset UConn last week. Alex Harris.
The Huskies showing you just how good they can be. Reed on the box. Hodge coming to double. This is Stewart left open. Second loss of the season Friday night at Madison Square Garden against St. John's. 22-2, the number 6 team in the country.
Inside Reed, outside Demery.
Into Reed. Demery. Work of 24-point UConn lead. Reed kicking Ross. Second three.
Efficiency the last couple. Shot just 36% in a win. They had to cut out against George. The different options at your disposal, just a middle of the floor pick and roll. On the drive.
Too big and strong. Got a bear hug him.
Solo ball. Wow. Giving 200 points on the season. Over 1550 now in his career. Ball. Count it.
Reed inside the Caravan. Reed out to Caravan.
Who had the foul trouble early in that Florida game. 2 fouls in 7 seconds. There's Caravan.
Great rotation too by Texas.
Right back to Reed. On the skip. Got it to Stewart.
Late shot clock again. Down inside to Reed. Had the big first half.
Nice cut.
There's the cutter. It's
That student, he really is just so balanced and strong, and you think he's undersized. But
He has proven to be a 3-level scorer in his sophomore season. Bounce it. Boozer. And it's blocked by Reed. On a handoff for Boozer. Swing for his brother Cameron. He took it to the
Number 12, Boozer.
all the way. Caden Boozer.
20 minutes to get double-double.
Dent getting to the basket. Reach to the Huskies, a combined 0 for 6. Daly rejected by Reed, but he...
Ejiofor facing up on Reed this time. And Mack, baseline bounce. Block pressure. He's got 13. Right, what are you talking about? A Snickers bar, he's ready to go all day. Williams down the lane, reject.
Sort of steam coming out that blue line.
Carroll, block.
Karl Malone, and kids at home, go ahead and Google Karl Malone,
Amen.
John Stockton. Malone would give it up, Stockton would give it.
Hopkins showing some physicality. St. John's can get right within 12 of 9/11 here. Hopkins.
that quick release. You can't give him that type of space.
41% from beyond the arc for his senior day.
And there has been better UConn players that go on to play pro and with who's
That Dan Gavitt and the NCAA Tournament Committee have stressed over the last week. A drive by Mitch. That's in is way off. Offensive rebound.
Right up until recently.
Yeah, he was working and winning games every Saturday offense, but they can't get to the paint. Right now, this defense stifling. And comes.
So the Blue Jays heating up from 3.
This is Ross, pretty drop.
According to UConn's plan, you get those two guys going, everything's easier.
Elite Mack rejected by Reed. He just surpassed 1,000 career points. KJ again. No, Fort.
And another Huskies turnover. Ajayi like a runaway freight train.
Butler, though, Spiro, those missed layups by Bizjack and Ajayi certainly loom large.
Putting him on the bench, you don't want that.
Here's Ejiofor, the pivot. His shot comes up short. Batted around. Claimed by Mitchell. Ejiofor again forces his way per game. Ejiofor. Turns, drives, collects himself, pivots.
It's nice to hear your coach say something about you, especially when you're coming off that bench, giving everything you have.
Look at Reed.
Is that you think you have two guys guarded really well, and then there's a third or a fourth, and they're starting to evolve into that.
How about that?
And then down, you know what that's like, especially in a conference that has so many great teams, so many skilled teams. How quickly can this group put it all together here down the stretch of the season?
Game early. Well,
How about that? Iwuchukwu is back on the floor now after that television timeout, 4 minutes deep. Well, and not unless you've watched how those games ended. Inside.
Offensive rebound, Hines. Go after that little guy down deep. What a pass! Williams. There's that dump down. Hines on the box. Has Reed on his back. Steps middle, and Reed turns him back. Shot clock didn't reset. Reed gets him a second.
I would say the ball pressure is lacking from the guards, allowing that pass inside also.
Powell got stood up.
And no one moving without the ball.
Arumse's at the table. This is Edwards to Powell. Powell taking Reed off the dribble, and Reed just says Powell is feeling it.
This is a tough matchup here.
Duncan Powell weaving. And
it was bench. They're right there. I mean, they're still, if they can make a couple of shots, they are right there.
Reed won their Big East opener by 19. Beat DePaul by 18. Commanded Xavier. There's
Paul has done that early on. At the same time, UConn's missed some easy shots.
Cruz McClure Smith. What a pass. And Gunn makes it to Benson, who's blocked by Reed. Using the long wings.
For teams, I think just as important for players to stay and hang in there.
Ajayi jump.
You get refs who just haven't seen enough basketball, I would say, and think that there's a foul happening.
Now it comes.
Traore, of course, hurt early in the year. Came from Xavier.
And never played for Xavier. That's
Caravan, he could diagram everything they do. Nice attack.
From distance, Keita, great rebounder for BYU.
He sure is a great roll guy. Good hands at the rim and really finishes strong.
Kids play fearlessly tonight. Backing his way in with 7 on the shot clock. And blocked by
Going to the paint, very tight.
Same play. And look at the guy, he got some nice things now.
Evans trying to set a screen there. Shot clock down to 5. Cruiser loses the ball, and it's Cooper taken away by Reed. He's running
to go far during the postseason. Tarris.
early going here at Stores, Connecticut. And Reed
Set the table.
Reed to the deck.
Insurmountable lead. They're not always the best three-point shooting team. They certainly have the talent to get back in this game.
Shannon has steered the ship.
And UConn did, but to their credit, they have bounced back and come out and played great ball thus far.
Ask you underneath to
Mitchell using the size.
Right back at him again.
See if he can pick up 3. Knocked away.
Dude, they could have put this game away, but they're still alive. Oh, wow.
Not quite winning the games you want to win, but when you're winning, those plays happen all the time, like UConn has seen.
That's another thing. The 6th man of the year in the league a season ago has found some comfort. Look at that.
I was thinking about just then was getting his shot blocked by a little guy in front of him.
Shaheen Holloway's defense number that last year won 14 games in Chris Holtman's first year. One of the biggest jumps, certainly the Big